between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. This is taken just shy of the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. That didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Herbert off of play action. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bonito. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
And the tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Albert O. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Charger drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
3rd and 2, Herbert. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This will be caught. Judy. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They got 29 yards that time. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 14-0. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Charger drive about to get going as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Broncos. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okuwebunam. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. McManus's point after is good. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now we give up the middle to Williams. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6, and it was the Broncos getting the road victory, so they'll look to take the season series now here in Denver. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Play action. Now Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The kick by McManus is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Herbert now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try waiting to the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
So the completion gets them just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. Eckler now between the tackles. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. And he wisely will throw that one away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nick Bonito. And the Broncos are going to have it here just past the 25. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They go play action now. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. An incompletion as a result.
On 2nd down, Williams. Pushes him over. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 41. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. There's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this one is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get him next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Austin Johnson, the one who makes the stop defensively. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
From the 24, Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown! Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's got some space here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They run it again with Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 15-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. Up the middle with Eckler. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Herbert. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. This is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Caden Stearns. But such a costly interception. Nearly a pick-6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
The Charger drive about to get going. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. A handoff, it's Eckler. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Rolling to his right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but he's got a man complete. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. A big play there for L.A. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Hopkins with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, we're in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. This offense so far on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They go play action with Wilson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fielded at the 20. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out, and you and I, let's get to the airport.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. To about the 40-yard line.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Broncos, the win here in Week 18 gives them a pivotal 11th win on the year, running their final mark to 11-6. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's just more heartache as they drop their 12th game of the season. And it will be a disappointing finish to the regular season, no doubt.
You